Art is life and life is art. Welcome to the House of Life, another exciting edition of Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami, and today we have loads of interesting things lined up for you. We'll be giving you all those details when we return from our arty quote.
Art can offer humans a means of triumph over pain, tragedy, and evil.
Evolution of consciousness, nature and culture, patriotism, character, confidence are the messages on display at the Terra Kulture Gallery in Lagos.
This is the first of the series. There are going to be many more, but this is the first one. So we're just trying to get like leaders of the new school. It's also a theme called Leaders of the New School. So we're trying to get like young artists that have works that have never been seen before. So we're trying to push and show their identity and what they feel with their works.
The exhibition is titled Leaders of the New School Vol.1. The theme for this is Idanimo, which pertains to identity and individuality.
We're trying to celebrate and promote accomplished young Nigerian artists. Nigerian artists is amongst the best of world art. We're trying to celebrate and promote their work. A situation whereby we don't have to wait for the government or for corporate bodies to do all of this. A number of individuals have what it takes to have an event such as this one, to have an exhibition such as this one, create jobs for young Nigerians. Not only the artists, but just about everybody else who has contributed in some way or the other. Photographers, curator, myself.
The curator shares more on the direction of the mind of the exhibition.
We're trying to stand out, but we're not trying to be like an irregular exhibition. So we're trying to basically give art lovers what they want to see. So unique paintings, unique drawings, and something that tells you, when you look at some of these paintings, you can have you basically know what they're talking about. So it speaks to you.
We have a cultural identity as a people, but then individual identity needs to be developed, and we're trying to start that discourse. What is your individual identity? Bring it to the fore. Use it to change what is happening around you. We cannot attack situations and problems with the same mentality. We have to, develop ourselves as individuals in order to develop the society around us. So each of these artists is more or less bringing their cutting edge techniques, their evolving techniques and evolving, passing messages across in very, very, very highly standardized, methods. And so yeah, that's just the whole idea.
Each piece of work is the result of efforts of 4 artists: Obinna Makata, Ayobola Kekereekun, Promise Onali, and Digbo Doughty.
pieces I'm showing is right behind me. It's titled Double Consciousness, and it's a comment on how often in our society we often present a side of ourselves that isn't necessarily who we truly are, while we also present the other side that we are expected to show, regardless of what we actually want or need. And another one of my pieces is titled Blossom, Bubbles and Buttercup. And it's a reference to characters of a cartoon called The Powerpuff Girls. And the Powerpuff Girls are these three little girls that were created by a scientist by mistake. So he wanted to make the perfect little girl, and he needed sugar, spice, and everything nice. But he accidentally added a fourth ingredient called Chemical X that gave the girls superpowers. And I found it really interesting that to make the perfect little girl, you needed to have everything nice. You know, it really struck me because as a child, I didn't consider myself a nice girl. You know, I wasn't patient, I wasn't feminine. I was more likely to be running around on the field, getting my clothes turned. You know, so did that mean I was not a candidate for the perfect little girl? And I do feel our society tends to move girls away from their own potential chemical X. You know, that last ingredient that is indicative of their ability beyond mere niceness and femininity.
Although done separately, the artists found a way to combine their experiences, styles and creative energy to connect the beholder with a bit of all of them.
My basic philosophy is on evolution of consciousness, evolution of technology, education. You know, things change, everybody change, and how far has that change affected us positively? So I have a work titled Into Pythagoras Labyrinth. Now, it's a bit political too, and it's more of a social consciousness piece. Now, this Pythagoras Labyrinth, I'm referring to the Nigerian consciousness, basically. We're really blessed with a lot of things, a lot of resources, a lot of human resources, natural resources and all that. But we're finding it difficult to put these things together to create things that are quite beneficial to the entire society, things that will be beneficial to us economically, and things that will help our technology, help our human resources and all that. We're finding it difficult, like it's in one very, very, very difficult mathematics equation. But this thing is very, very easy for us to, you know, tap into and make things that will help us basically.
It's excellent, and it tells us Nigeria has a good talent, which need to be supported by the society and the government.
So far, I've seen amazing pieces by wonderful artists. I think my favorite so far is by Promise Onali. I think he's doing really, really amazing. I love his paintings, he's really, really beautiful. Also, I've seen Makata Obina as well, and Dipo Doherty. So different styles, different shades, different colors, and different techniques. And very, very beautiful. I think if you get one of these artworks, you can actually hang them in your house, and it's actually going to look really good.
The artists are relishing the opportunity to explore their thoughts through the various styles and materials they employ to connect with the theme of the exhibition.
Sometimes I have the idea and I don't act on it for months. Sometimes it's that very night, it varies. And from the idea I start to develop how the work is going to come together visually. I don't start until it's very clear to me what's going to happen, because with my technique there's very little room for error. So if the work isn't about 80% clear to me, I don't start. So once it's clear, then I start the process of making sure I have the right materials. If I don't have the right materials, I have to source them out, start planning, and then I work. Some pieces can take up to a week, some can take up to 4 weeks. It depends on the scale and the complexity that goes into it.
I take bits and pieces of things I find in everyday life. It could be a book on thermodynamics, or it could even be a book on like biology, like flowers, and I sort of try and assess the shape and the form of these things and how I can tie them to other forms I can find in nature. So I always like my paintings or my works to have this state of flow. I want it to be very organic. I want it to feel very smooth, very natural as it evolves.
I was raised by a single mother, and I know the experiences I had to go through growing up, attending primary, secondary school, with my mom caring for all of us, and that also inspires me when I look at single women, especially Nigerian women, and what they've been able to achieve single-handedly. It's quite inspirational for me as an artist, and that's one of the inspirations.
The emotions of each artist, although their individual identities, can be said to be a testament that art and soul are deeply rooted companions, where the story of one cannot be told without linking it to the other.